Good morning. Time is on your side. Yes, it is. Hello, y'all. Welcome to Sensual Abundance. It is day 16. This is all based on the Abundance book by John Randolph Price. We're doing the 40-day prosperity plan, and it is day 16, Friday, January 5th. Friday is Lover Day. Friday is Venus Day. Friday is the feel good day. And we're going to talk about time today. We talked about it. Hi, good morning. Talked about it a little bit before. I want to talk about time because people say time is money and money is time. And we're going to talk about time scarcity because that's a thing and something that I noticed this morning. That I knew, but I really got a chance to like feel it in action. And if you're available, good morning. If you're available, I will take you through a somatic exercise this morning. So if you're available means if you're somewhere where you're not driving or anything like that, you cannot be driving when you're doing like that kind of work. I mean, if you're in a quiet space, right? So good morning, everyone. If you're just coming across this live stream, good morning to Facebook, good morning to LinkedIn, good morning to YouTube, good morning to Instagram, all the places. Good morning to those of you in the Facebook group for Sensual Abundance. My name is Devi Maisha, and I am the Sensual Energy Alchemist. I am a master life coach and sacred sexuality teacher. And my work centers around reconnecting Black women to their freedom, sovereignty, and power through their sensuality and their pleasure. And we have been doing the 40-day abundance book, the 40-day abundance plan based on the Abundance book by John Randolph Price. And today we are on day 16. If you are just joining in and you'd like to catch up on this, all of the videos are available on my YouTube channel. They are in a playlist called Sensual Abundance 2023. You can do them one at a time. Please do them one at a time. This is not a binge watchy type of thing. You need to do each day one at a time, and all of the instructions are there in the playlist. Okay, so let's get into it. This is day 16. So we are on statement 6 again. This is our second go round with statement 6. My inner supply instantly and constantly takes on form and experience according to my needs and desires. And as the principle of supply in action, it is impossible for me to have any needs or unfulfilled desires. I will read it again. My inner supply instantly and constantly takes on form and experience according to my needs and desires. And as the principle of supply in action, it is impossible for me to have any needs or unfulfilled desires. So the first week that we did this, the first statement that when we did this, I asked you all, I believe, to write out your, like, what do you want? What are your desires? What do you really want? Right. And hopefully you did that. If not, please do. We're going to use that third set of statements, third set of statements, I believe. I do have some specific planned exercises I do for that week, and we're going to do some things around your desires and what you want. So let me talk a little bit about time and then get into the somatic exercise, which will actually help you with those desires. Time. There's this way in which we feel like we don't have enough time. I'm multitasking. There's a way in which we feel like we don't have enough time. We feel like time is running out. And that adds to our feelings of scarcity, especially around money. I need to get together money before this happens, before that happens, before I die. I need to put all of these things together. And that causes undue stress. That's not to say that we need to understand that if, like, for instance, I have children I would like to have certain things set up before I leave this earth. There are certain things that I do have in place, but there's more that I want to set up for them. My mother did a great job in setting up so much, and I want to take what she did and expand upon it and make it better. So I would like to do that. If I let that keep me up at night because I haven't done it yet, it's going to dampen my creative energy and power and prevent me from creating ways to bring that into fruition faster because I'm so busy focused on what I don't have. And I hope that that makes sense. Now, I'm also going to tell you about a sneaky pattern that I discovered in myself, and maybe it might apply to you as well, or maybe you can see how this applies to you with something else in your life. So this morning, I had enough time. I had more than enough time. Uh, I was supposed to do laundry this morning. If you see my Instagram stories, I very much dislike doing laundry. And so I was in the bed relaxing. I opted to take this as a time to practice vaginal mapping because as you all know, I've got the class coming up Tuesday, January 7th. And so I decided to, I hadn't practiced in a while and I decided to engage in that practice. So I had time. I noticed as it got closer to 8:30, I was like halfway dressed, and then I found myself doing some other things like, oh, I have time. When it hit about 8:50, I started to scramble. I had to move quick because I wanted to be on here by 9, or at least by 9:05. I wanted to be on here. So I found myself starting to scramble. And as I was scrambling, it finally landed in my body. And see, that for me, there's a difference between understanding something intellectually and it landing in my body. I've understood intellectually that I have utilized time as um a way to deflect. I feel like that's not the word I want to use. um yes, spirit has been on me about this. You have the time, just focus on the moment. Yes, even rest is progress and needed to cultivate that creative energy. Yes, absolutely. We talked about rest yesterday. So I will. So long story long, I've talked about the nervous system with you all. Yes, talked about the ways in which we will keep ourselves in a certain state of being. Yes, because it's what's comfortable for us. So I've noticed that even though when it comes to money, because we're talking about money, with money, I've relaxed a little bit. I'm not as stressed, right? I have my mechanisms, I have my tools. I still utilize time as a way to keep me hyped up in a hypervigilant state. I noticed that my mother did that as well. We were always rushing. I've noticed times when I have been on time and didn't know what to do with myself. Like, I had it in my mind, and I remember saying to someone, "I don't wanna be ready on time, like, then what do I do? What do I do? I have nothing to do." So if I need to be somewhere, this doesn't mean I'm always late, but it means that I like to push it right there. Keeps me keeps me hyped. Could be because 'cause I'm a New Yorker. Could be because I need to still keep my nervous system is so accustomed to being hypervigilant since I was a child, that even if I slow it down in one area, this sneaky little pattern will find its way into something else in my life. Time. So I've noticed, like, really this morning, and I just had to laugh at myself as I was getting ready. It's like, well, gosh darn it. I mean, you knew this, Maisha, but really? Because I really, yeah, I don't know if that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's a New York thing. I think it's a combination. And so I'm noticing the places in which it's like, even though I'm calm in one area, in order to keep myself, you know, going where I'm used to, I will waste time. And I want you all to see how the patterns in your life, you think it's just about your money, but the patterns in your life extend to other places. I hope you all are understanding what I'm saying. So even though I've been working through these money patterns, right? And you're here working through your money patterns, and it's like, yeah, there's more in the bank account. Yeah. Unless you, and this is why again, the mental work is great, but until it gets in here, the pattern of behavior will just find its way into some other space. So instead of spending all your money, for instance, if that was your thing, you'll be wasting all your time because there's too much and you don't know what to do with it. There is an abundance of time and you don't know what to do with it. When there's an abundance of money, if you're not accustomed to it, you will shush it back out into the world. If you have an abundance of time, you will find something to do with it. And then you'll be racing to get something done or accomplished. And like, where did the time go? Just like, where did the money go? Where did the time go? I had the time. But it's partly because there's still a part of you that is looking for that homeostasis that I talked about of being hyper vigilant. And this is especially true for melanated folks. We don't even realize how much we live in hypervigilance. We don't realize it because we haven't really traveled outside the country. We haven't lived in other places. We don't know what it feels like to actually be relaxed. Our homeostasis for generations has been this for many of us. I probably say for most of us. And it can be difficult for us to relax. Because when you're relaxed, your money flows differently, your time flows differently, your orgasms flow differently, you eat differently, everything moves differently in your life when your nervous system is relaxed. I was walking down the street yesterday and I was on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Lots of children who have the privilege of having additional assistants, nannies, who still to this day look like me, still to this day. Instead of being from the South, now they're from the Caribbean. And as I'm walking past this little boy walking with his parents and his nanny, I think to myself, how fortunate, I'm not going to be mad, how fortunate that he can have so many people attending to his needs where he can just be relaxed in the world so that he can just be and create as he gets older. And how many of us did not have that particular privilege, who were latchkey children, or who were watching younger siblings, or who just basically had to fend for ourselves because our parents had to work so that we could survive. I was remembering the times when, I begged my mother and father, begged my parents for me and my sister to come home after school. I was 9 years old. I did not want to go to the babysitter. My sister was 6. My brother was a newborn, or as he was like 2. So he was at the babysitter's. It's down the hall. Miss Rose was her name. She's down the hall. And but when we came home, do y'all remember your list of instructions? Right? And me not thinking about it at that time felt like, yeah, but had me on guard. Don't answer the door. Make sure the door is locked. Don't answer the phone. Call me when you get home. Like there were all of these things that needed to be done, that even at a young age started to perpetuate a state of being hypervigilant, not to mention the things that actually may have happened to any of us. This work that we're doing during sensual abundance, and the reason why I called it sensual, we'll get into it in the last 2 cycles, is because part of you stepping into this world of abundance beyond money is allowing your body to relax and receive it. allowing your body to relax and create it. Hopefully, this is making sense to those of you who are watching. And if it is not, please let me know so I can find some different language because I want you to really begin to grasp it because we are creators. But if we're living in a state where we're contracted and constricted, it's difficult to do. So the first time we did this okay, great. Thank you. Somebody said it makes sense. The first time we did statement 6, I asked you to write out what do you desire? Right? And some of you wrote it out from an intellectual perspective. I'm sure you did. Some of you wrote it out from a practical perspective. I'm sure you did. But we need to feel it in the body. And this goes into affirmations, which I think we'll do the second set. Affirmations are beautiful things, except for, again, people try to affirm things that they can't actually feel are true. And if you do that, it like there's a disconnect between the mind and the heart. Right. And this morning, I was doing some heart work. Y'all on LinkedIn ain't ready for some of what I got to say. Facebook and Instagram knows me. I'm still new to LinkedIn. I'm still easing into the party for y'all over there. But there is a way that you can engage in self-pleasure with your body that opens up your heart space, that creates orgasmic waves of pleasure without you having to climax. I just want to let y'all know that, okay? Like there are ways to do that. And when you do that, you begin to open yourself and your vibration more, and you become more magnetic. It's like woof, woof, right? Okay, so sorry, I was traveling someplace else. All of that to say, when you start to feel things in your body, that is when it lands. But I realized this morning that a lot of us don't know how to feel things in our body because it's been cut off, because we had to survive. So we had to put all that away. So before we get to places and spaces where I'm going to teach you how to open your heart, because no one needs that for all of these things to flood up in a way that you can't handle. We're going to do a simple somatic exercise today that's just going to allow you to understand what it is to feel in your body. We're not going into any stories. I'm not digging in your past. It's just right here today, January 5th, Friday, 9:26 a.m. If you are available to do this, if you're driving and you really want to do it, pull over to the side. If you're anywhere where you can be comfortable, I'm going to invite you to put your feet flat on the floor, or you can lay down. It's fine. Either way, it's going to be really short. We're going to do what's called a body scan. And this is just a way for you to begin to tap back into your body, because we live up here a lot, but we need to start living down here and all the way down here more. So find a comfortable space, feet flat on the floor, or you can lay down, it's fine. And the first thing I would like you to do is just notice your breathing. Just notice if you're breathing through the front of your chest. Notice if you're breathing through your solar plexus. Just notice your breathing. Notice if your breathing is really shallow or if it's deep. And we're not assigning anything to this. You're just noticing. You're being a witness to your own self. what I'm going to ask you to do is begin to breathe into the solar plexus. Put your hand at that space where your rib cage separates, that squishy part above your navel, and breathe into that space in through your nose and out through your mouth. Your hand will rise and fall. Now see if you can take that breath, place your hands on the sides, like slide your hand from your that squishy part over to your side and bring the other hand up so that they're in the same space right at the bottom of your ribs, right? You can kind of feel your rib cage and your hands are going to be right there. Palms more in the squishy part. Take that same breath in through the solar plexus area, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and see if you can feel your sides expand. If your sides expand, that means the air is getting into your lungs. This is how babies breathe. And notice the difference in feeling. If you were breathing one way before, and continue breathing that way. If you were feeling one way before, notice if there's a different feeling in your body with this breath. And just notice it. Now from here, we're going to take a moment. And I just want you to, as you continue that breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth, I want you to bring your attention and awareness to your eyes. What is the sensation there? Is it tight? Is it loose? What about your forehead area? I know, strange, right? But see if you can feel it there. What does your jaw feel like, your mouth? Does it feel tight? Does it feel relaxed? Come down to your neck and shoulders. On your next inhale and exhale, allow your shoulders to relax. See if you can bring them all the way down. Release any tension that's there. And now notice how you feel in your collarbone area, your shoulders, your neck. Let's go down into your chest. Do you feel relaxed? Does it feel tense? Let's move further down into the belly and the abdomen. Same thing, we're just noticing. You're scanning your body. Where are you relaxed? Where do you feel tension? Where do you feel pain? Where does it feel tight, loose? Let's go into the hips. For many of us, our hips are tight. But let's feel into your hips. Still taking those breaths. Just notice. Move into your thighs, your calves, your feet and your toes. How are your toes doing? Are they gripping? Are they just splayed out? Now as you're in this space with your eyes still closed, feel the environment around you. Is it chilly, cold, hot? Do you feel air moving across you? Or heat? Can you hear sounds from outside? Maybe birds or cars, people. Take a few more deep breaths here and just be in your body in this moment. This is your vessel, your ship for your voyage through this life. Just live in it for a few more seconds. When you're ready, I want you to tilt your head downward a little bit. I want you to blink 3 times. And when you open your eyes, you should be looking slightly downward. And then I want you to take a moment and notice 3 things in your space: a mug, a flower, a book, your bed, a desk, a chair, a window. Just focus on each one of those things, whatever it is, and taking a deep breath and exhale. Move on to the next thing, deep breath, exhale, and the third thing, deep breath, exhale. And then come back to your screen. And if you'd like to, I would love to know what you noticed for yourself. You're not under any obligation to share. You can DM me and let me know what you noticed for yourself. But I would love to know the difference between how you felt before that exercise and how you felt after. And what we did is awareness, it's meditation, it's somatic work, it's embodiment, it's all the same thing. It is the thing that I teach. It is the thing that I love. It is part of what has saved my life. It is part of what has opened me up. We also need to learn some grounding techniques, but I didn't take you out into anywhere. It was just, you were just right here in a space. But if we were going to do some extra woo-woo work, we would do some grounding exercises. There was an anxious feeling in my chest, and now it feels open. Thank you. I feel more relaxed now compared to the beginning. Yes. Very relaxed and calm. And this is something you can come back and do. You can do this anytime. The simple name of it is it's a body scan. And now imagine being in this state most of the time. Imagine being in this state most of the time. Oh my gosh. Now from this place, can you write down your wishes and your desires? From this state of being, can you put pen to paper? And this is what I want you to do. I want you to do, oh, thank you, makeup madam, thank you. I feel calmer, more aware. Yes, I can feel exactly where the nervousness lies. Yes. So what I want you to do today is sometime during the day, or if you have time now, that's fine. Do this same exercise, come back and revisit it. Like I said, it's easy to find on YouTube because I put it in a playlist. You don't have to try to search for it on my Facebook page or my Instagram page or, my LinkedIn page. You can go to YouTube and it's in a list. Come back, do this exercise. And then from there, write out your wants and desires. When you do that, after it's done, go back and look at the original list that you wrote and see if they're the same, because it could be, or see if there's a difference, because it could be. See if there's a difference between you writing things out from the intellectual perspective and the mind versus what happens when you're fully in your body and you're open to what your body has to say. So that is your assignment for today. Do the body scan exercise. And from that space, write out your wants and your needs. And remember that you have time. You have time to do this exercise because you just did it now. You have time to create the abundance you desire. You're doing it right now. You have time. And also notice the times when you find yourself rushing. Notice if that's a pattern of behavior that you have as a way to still indulge the scarcity mindset within you. That you put yourself in a position to have less time to feed the part of you that still believes in scarcity, because there is an abundance. You have all the time you need. Even if your destiny is written, your expiration date on this earth is written, that would mean that it was still written that you have all the time you need, that you needed during this time here. So no need to worry about it. There's nothing you can do about that, right? You have time. That's right. All right. So statement 6 again for day 16. My inner supply instantly and constantly takes on form and experience according to my needs and desires. And as the principle of supply and action, it is impossible for me to have any needs or unfulfilled desires. Hopefully, everything we did makes sense that ties into the statement. When you're clear on your needs and desires, the divine mind that lives within you instantly and constantly takes on form according to those needs and desires when you're clear on them. Now, also, just to know, and I'm going to read this again, you're always creating. You're always in creation mode. It's just, what are you creating? Are you creating scarcity? Because whatever you need and desire, you got it. I don't have enough time. You got it. And I never have enough money. Okay. You got it. There's not enough men or women in the world. I can't find anybody. Cool. You got it. What do you want, need? What do you desire here? What are you putting out? I'm here to assist. You know? You tell me what's happening here. I know that's very different from what some of you were probably taught to believe about the creative life force, energy, God, whatever have you. I'm just throwing something new out there for you. Catch it if you want to, put it down if you don't want it. But what if what I am saying has some merit? Why not give it a try by choosing to want and desire that which brings you the most open joy, abundance, pleasure that you could possibly have? Why not choose that? Why not? Why not say to yourself, I am always cared for. I am always surrounded by these type of people. I always have this in my life. Why not do that? And I know there's the fear of disappointment and heartbreak that we want to protect ourselves from pain. So it's a lot easier to keep ourselves in a place of scarcity and not having than to have it and lose it. But what kind of life is that? That's existing, it's not living. Stop leading with the lack, lead with abundance. Y'all are on it over there again on Instagram. This is delicious. You're so welcome. All right, so I'm going to read it again and then we're going to go on about our day. It is Friday, it is Venus Day, it is Lover's Day. My practice this morning was so delicious. Listen. All right, let me read this first. My inner supply instantly and constantly takes on form and experience according to my needs and desires. And as the principle of supply and action, it is impossible for me to have any needs or unfulfilled desires. It is impossible. Impossible. Okay. All right. So a couple of quick announcements as I do. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed, Jamaica. All right, so a couple of things. The first is, if you don't know, Black Tantra Group is having a retreat. We are 4 teachers that come together to teach about sacred sexuality. Our next retreat is April 25th through the 28th. It is in the Virginia, DC area. We would love to have you join us. It is open to singles and couples. We have limited spaces for you to stay with us at the house, and those are, I feel like they're half gone, maybe. I have to double check. But we have limited spaces to stay at the house. We have a hotel that's very close by For the overflow, maybe about 7 to 10 minutes away, where the couples can stay so they can practice on their own, and where the additional singles can stay. Until January 15th, you can use the code BTG for Black Tantra Group, BTG 2024, to get 10% off of your deposit payment plans. Of course, now's the time. Some of y'all might be waiting for your tax returns to come in. I totally understand you. I get you. But listen, you are going to want to be at that retreat. It is called Quantum Sexuality, and we are taking things to a whole nother level. We are coming out of the past 2-3 years of some hefty madness and fuckery, and we need to really get back into our power. So you can visit blacktantragroup.com, follow us on Instagram. We go live there. We go live across social media every Tuesday. Okay, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. we go live across social media. Just so you know that. Now, if you're in the NYC area, Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits is having a brunch May 5th. Mark your calendar, May 5th. Just block off the day. It's also Cinco de Mayo, which has nothing to do with Mexico. I'm going to keep saying that so people understand that. But May 5th, we will be having our brunch in New York City. That is me and 4 other delicious Black women, and we come together and we host brunches and events. Our brunches always sell out, just like Black Tantra Group stuff always sells out. I like to be a part of winning teams, y'all, okay? So please get on our mailing list to find out where, when. It's May 5th. It's a Sunday, okay? I would love to meet you. We would love to meet you. So check out Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. Of course, we're on social media as well. And the last thing is Cinco de Mayo. Yes. Yes, New York City. So Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. Go check us out with that. And the last thing I will say is, so I need to change the time, but it is still happening. January 7th, I am doing a class on vaginal mapping. It's an anatomy class. You will not be taking clothes off, ladies. I would love to see you on screen, though, your face. No one, let me tell you something. Nobody really likes teaching on Zoom to a bunch of squares with nobody there. Like, we do it, but we like to engage with you. Like, Zoom is taking the place of being in person. It's as if we were in person in a room and you were sitting like this the whole time. Like, that's no fun. I'm just letting y'all know that. So, but January 7th, I'm doing a class on vaginal mapping. I have my handy dandy little vagina that I will use. I have my crystal wand that I will use to show you some things. I will give you some exercises. And we're going to go over the anatomy so that women know, because there are women who still don't know where their clitoris is. There are women who don't know where their A spot, their U spot, their G spot, their O spot are. There are women who don't know where their urethra is. And we just haven't had this type of anatomy. And because we're internal, we don't get a chance to see it in our faces. So we're going to go over that class. We're going to, through that class, we're going to go over anatomy. And there will also be some self-pleasure techniques. What is vaginal mapping? Why would you even need to do it? What is the importance of incorporating it into your life? And how can it make your sex life better? So that is for women. And that is happening January 7th. I need to change the time. It says 7 p.m., but I'm going to need to change the time to 8 p.m. So it's going to happen. And maybe that'll give some of y'all time to, like, if you have children, do what you need to do so you can have some time for you. So that's January 7th at 8 p.m. via Zoom. You do need to register. The link is in my links there, but it's also, let me put this up here real quick to make it a lot more convenient for you all. Vaginal. This is also the direct link for it. That's the direct link to register for the class, January 7th. There will be a replay. It will be up in my membership group, and I will talk more about my membership group and extend an invitation during that class. Okay, so just so you know, yes, there will be a replay, but it will be in my membership group. So if you'd like to get in on it free, you're going to want to show up Tuesday, January 7th at 8 p.m. And the class is, I'm sorry, I keep saying January 7th. Hold on a second. It's the 9th, y'all. The 9th. My bad. January 9th. Tuesday, January 9th. Tuesday, January 9th at 8 p.m. is the class. Tuesday. This Tuesday at 8 p.m. is the class. It is free. Come on in. We're going to learn some things. Okay? All right, y'all. happy birthday. We'll definitely want to come on out and see you then. Yes, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate that. Eastern time. Yes. Yes, Eastern. I am in the Y, the New York. So it is Eastern time. Yes. Thank you so much, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'm gonna head out. I love being here with you all, but I gotta go. I will be back here tomorrow, 9-ish Eastern time. I will be back here tomorrow and every day until we finish these 40 days. Tomorrow is day 17, statement 7. Thank you all for being here. Get on my mailing list as well. If you know, where is it at? So that you can keep up with the things that are happening with me. I don't send out a lot of emails, but I do send out some. So head over to that link there and head on to my mailing list. Okay. Oh, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow, 9-ish. Bye.